The EZT570i can have up to 5 analog inputs, which are used for remote setpoint inputs. Remote setpoints are a remote linear analog current or voltage setpoint sent from an external device. The remote setpoints can be obtained from 0 to 10 volt DC inputs or 4 to 20 milliamp current inputs. The remote setpoints are enabled through events and can be selected manually or used within a profile. This option includes an analog input card and electrical connections for up to 5 analog inputs. Once the electrical connections are made, you can configure the EZT. To do this, access the I/O menu by selecting Setup, then System Setup. Select Setup again, then System Maintenance. By selecting Yes, we're going to go into an offline condition. Select the I/O menu and then select Analog Output Setup. We're going to retransmit output number 1 for the humidity set point. The output minimum will be 0 and the maximum output will be 100. Switch the volts to current and then accept the changes. This is an example using analog input 1 to retransmit a 4 to 20 milliamp humidity signal to our chart recorder. And the chart recorder is displaying the current humidity process value. The EZT570i digital output option provides 15 digital outputs which can be used as event outputs, alarm outputs, or for other signaling needs. These outputs can be turned on or off in response to several types of conditions. These conditions include activating the output when a profile is running, when a profile is on hold, during an alarm condition, or between step changes within a profile. The digital outputs can also be directly controlled by the optional digital inputs. For this example, we will demonstrate the digital output as a customer event. To set up digital outputs, go to the EZT and name the output by selecting the System Setup menu. Setup, and event tag names. For this example, we will name our event 1 Indicator Light, accept the changes and return to the main view screen. We will use our indicator light event as part of a profile. To configure the event output function, select System Setup. Then select Setup, then System Maintenance. When prompted for an offline mode, select Yes. Select the I/O menu, then Digital Output Setup. Enter the digital output number you would like to configure, then select the output function. For this example, we will select Customer Event, accept the changes, and return to the main view screen. Next, we will enter a profile. By selecting Profiles, Profile Entry View, Edit, and New Profile. We will enter a quick 4-step profile to blink the indicator light on for 5 seconds, off for 5 seconds, on for 5 seconds, and then off. For step 1, we will select our event. Scroll down to the indicator light that we named, turn the event on, and enter 5 seconds. Step 2 will be left off. Step 3 will be on again for 5 seconds, and step 4 will be off. Select Edit and save the profile. We will call our profile Indicator Light. We can then run the profile, which will send the signal to the indicator light to turn it on or off. This can also be used in conjunction with temperature or humidity in a profile. Upon running a profile, the light will turn on or off as indicated in the profile. Instead of an indicator light, the customer event can be used to control a door interlock or used to send a signal to another PLC or alarm system. The digital output option comes with an output card and electrical connections to connect to each output. The digital input option includes 8 inputs that can be configured to perform different controller functions. For example, start, hold, resume, or terminate a profile, advanced steps, or may act as a switch to control customer event outputs if the option has been purchased. These are connected on the digital input connection plate on the back of the test chamber. To configure a digital input, go to the EZT screen. Select Setup, then System Setup. Select Setup again, then System Maintenance. When prompted for an offline mode, select Yes. Then select Digital Inputs from the I/O menu. Select the input number by entering the value in the Digital Input Number field. Select the desired transition mode by pressing the Off-On button, which means that 24-volt DC power is applied to the input, or select On-Off button, which means that power is removed from the input. Then change the user state to On for the function you want the input to perform. Select the Accept button to save the changes and repeat for each digital input. An example of how this may be used is for a customer's oxygen monitor or gas monitor to send a digital input to our controller to stop a profile. Another example is for a vibration shaker controller on an AV or CV chamber to send a signal to our chamber to advance the profile to the next step. This is not as common as it used to be with advancements in software. An input signal can also be used to turn on and off events or customer events during a profile. The environmental chamber is equipped with high heat limits and other safety devices. These devices remove power from the chamber's heaters only, but do not remove the power from the device under test. To turn off the tested device when the chamber is off, a device under test, or DUT, safety relay is included with the chamber. This relay will open and turn off the device under test to prevent a runaway thermal condition whenever the chamber is not operating. The safety relay connection is located on the digital output connector plate. The DUT safety relay is an isolated, dry contact rated for up to 2 amps of resistive current at 24 volt AC or DC power. It provides an effective and safe method of removing power from test items within the chamber anytime the chamber is not running. This concludes the EZT 570i input and output training video.